Like you had smart people saying, hey, let's get off fossil fuels as quickly as possible. They didn't think of any downside to that, even though it was obvious. If you could, so one kind of, when you see things going wrong, one thing is to think about like what's going wrong with the thinking. Like even if people have the facts right, if you're thinking about it wrong, you'll ignore certain crucial facts. And then another thing which relates to narratives and population is what assumptions are people operating under? And this often relates to mental models. So you have the mental model of the Earth like has too many people. And it's usually related to the Earth has a very limited pool of resources. And that's like a mental model that I call it part of the delicate nurturer model, where the Earth is this nurturing thing, but it only gives us a limited amount of resources. And so the idea is, if it's like it gives us a pizza, and then if there are too many of us, we eat the pizza, and then we have to eat the box, and then there's nothing left. It's like that model of resources. And this turns out to be a totally false model of resources. So if you look at resources are just raw matter and energy shaped by us. So like coal, oil, gas, aluminum, these are not natural resources, right? They were totally useless to our pretty recent ancestors. They're man-made resources. We created value where there was nothing. And as long as we're free to create, we can turn basically anything into a resource. But if you have the resource creation model, you don't become afraid of overpopulation. But if you have the resource, like nature gives us finite resources, then you become afraid of it. And with so many things, people have mental models and thinking methods that they don't question. And in particular, when the people you're told are experts have thinking methods and mental models, it's so common to just say, well, I can't question that. But in both of the cases I'm mentioning, the models they're using the thinking is obviously wrong and the models are obviously wrong. And anyone with common sense can know the way we're thinking about resources doesn't make any sense, because otherwise the caveman would have been awash in resources and we would have none because we have 8 billion people. And it's the opposite, right? We're 8 billion people with riches compared to the cavemen.